So I am going to describe about the role of a data scientist. So
Yes.
as we see the role of a data scientist, we can say that it all starts with data acquisition.
Mm.
So first and the foremost important task in a project is acquire the required data sets so that we can start on our research work, we can start on our modeling, and then we can go for product and all. So we have to accumulate data, we have to get data. So data acquisition has got to play a very important role in the beginning of the project. So when we do data acquisitions, we ask a number of questions from the different stakeholders, right?
Okay.
So as we ask different questions from various stakeholders, so for example, we are collecting data on education system,
Okay, sir.
right? So in the education system, we can ask data about students. So those students' information we have to get. So we will contact university, and from the university we will contact some academic people like principal or someone who has results of the data of all the students of the university. So we can have a call with them, and we can ask him for sharing the student details, like how many students are there in the colleges, which students are in which courses, in which domains, and all those information we need to get from the colleges. So who can provide this data? Only some administrative people or the principal. So we will contact those people, and we will ask them to share data either as a flat file, or they can share their system information, some credentials. So with the help of those credentials, we will be able to archive some information. So that way we will acquire some data. So
Yes.
even in this process, this is not a hassle free. Lots of discussion goes on. Then we get the access to all these credentials, and then only we are able to archive all this information for our research purpose. Sometimes some data are very easily available, like it's freely available on web. So from web we can download it, or we can crawl it, or we can get it anyway from the web, we can archive it anyway. And then some data is available as log files. So sometimes log files are generated, so we request for the log files for the past 1 month, and we get all the log files, and from the log files we apply some algorithms and some kind of programming, and we archive all the information in tabular format later, and we then accomplish all the data. So data can come from web, can come from files, can come from database, can come from logs. So different sources of data are, and from that we all collect the data in flat file, database format, Excel, and all different format. Finally, we try to do a data wrangling task, and even before that we do some cleaning onto the data. We map the data properly so that we get a logical relationship between different types of variables in the data. Suppose student data that we have got from database and some student data that we have got as flat file, we need to see that they are all related, and the name of students which is in the database, same names are appearing even in the flat file data, and they are easily mappable, so that we can map them. And then so lots of hard work is going on in this process, and once we accomplish all this task, we go for data wrangling. In the data wrangling, we not only clean the data, but also we streamline the data from the suppose we have got few variables like student name, student age, student roll number, and all these things. From that, if we want to make an additional attribute for the student which is not existing, so suppose an additional attribute can be whether a student is interested in data science course or not.
Okay.
This can be either yes or no. So this is a new attribute that I want to introduce in the student record. So whether the
Okay.
student is interested in data science course or not. So that new attribute we can induce into that table, and that's
Okay.
how we can make different columns, categories, and all that, and that comes under the preview of data wrangling, where we do lots of
Simply data wrangling means data sorting, na? It
uh,
is typing of data.
not just sorting. Means we have to play around the data, we have to make new variables, we have to do boundary value, not boundary value analysis, but we have to outliers may be there in the data, so we have to remove outliers. So all these things we do in data wrangling.
Okay.
So lots of mathematically and categorically, we have to change categorical values into numerical value into normal values. So all that things we do in data wrangling.
Yes, sir.
So that is done here. Then we move it to the mathematical statistical model. So we apply machine learning algorithms onto the refined data. So whatever is the final refined data is there, that we apply machine learning algorithm onto that. We apply the best of best machine learning algorithm that is applicable to the current data sets. And once this machine learning algorithm is applied to the data set, we move it to the mathematical or statistical model. And that particular model is now a very distinguished model, which is going to give us the result for the remaining things, which is even untested. That is also going to be tested under this mathematical and statistical model that is finally made. And this model is implemented in all our products, data reports, and data visualization. And data scientist has to play a major role in all these things, asking right questions to the stakeholders, data acquisitions, data wrangling, machine learning, applying machine learning, and building the model. So all these things are critical to the job of data scientist. But after that, once the model is made and all, we have to just apply it, and we have to put it into the system which is being already developed by some developers and testers and everybody. So in that system, data scientist is going to coordinate with them so that it can be rightly placed into the system. So data visualization, data report, and data products, all these things are coming because of the cumulative effort of all data scientists, developers, application developers, testers, DevOps developers, and everybody.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
everybody is working together on all these things, but the role of data scientist is very much focused on all this area, and ultimately leading to this data visualization, data reports, and data products.
Hmm.
Now, a data scientist should be able to ask the right questions. So, as a thinking of the skills of a data scientist, so I have told data scientists need to have too many things. Like he should be a domain expert also, not very top level domain expert, but he should be knowing good of a domain. If he is working in the finance domain, he can be a CFA. He cannot be a CFA, but still he should have good knowledge of finance. He can be MBA finance also. So that way. So a data scientist should be a domain expert also, and with the help of and apart from that, he should have good knowledge of programming and technology, like Python expert. He can be, and then he can be something like a mathematics expert with the statistics and all these things. It should be very much clear to him. Otherwise, he will not be a good data scientist. Without the mathematics, a person cannot become a good data scientist. That's you should remember. So if you are dreaming of becoming a data scientist, even now sharpen your mathematical skills.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Hmm. So these are, and you can see here they have already given work as a team player and all those things. So that's fine.